Hi, Randy Buffie here. This is an interesting project on the south shore of Medicine Lake. And this project, like other ones that I've described, are all focused on the use of sunlight. This particular house was an interesting conversation though. This is on the south shore of the lake. Here's the shore of the lake. The sun is coming from this direction, yet we want all the glass to be here to look out to the view. So how do you do that? You want to scoop light. Your view is this way, but the sunlight's coming from this way. And so how this was interpreted was two metal boxes that have a glass link that lets the shards of light come all the way through the house in the center. So you can see that from all of these rooms looking in and when you're occupying the center portion of the house. One of the things that was really fascinating about the formulation of the spaces of this house was the shore actually does a gentle bow in front of the house. And so if you look at how the building is structured, and this one is currently under construction, all of these lines splay back to a point in the street. And so the house, all of the walls and how the shape of everything radiates back to this point. You can see it in how the overhang on the garage is and how these all are radiating out. The other thing too is this house is always, like every internal lot, you have adjacent homes on either side. And so how do you manipulate the windows to get the morning and the afternoon light in without sacrificing the privacy? And so in a couple of these areas, we actually sandblasted the glass, so it's sandblasted until it gets up to about this high and then it fades into clear. So you could be in the bathroom and see the lake, but at the same time, you could have just stepped out of the shower and nobody would be able to see you. On this particular project, one of the things that's really fascinating about how the light is going to be interpreted is if I spin this around, this is the south side. In this 2 stories of glass, there's the stairway that winds up through all 3 levels of the house. And what we're going to do is we're going to put crystals, meaning it's a low iron glass, so it's almost like, think of a Swarovski kind of crystal that has some cut edges. So we're going to get little trickles of colored light that are going to come through from the south into this main living space. When he spends his time in the evening, he loves to be playing guitar. She has horses, loves to deal with all her horses during the day. And so on these glass, we're going to sandblast little etchings of music notes, things tied to equestrian world, but they're so subtle that unless if you're going up the stair and stop to look, you will not see them. And that's one thing that I always do in my projects. I prefer my projects to read as a novel, that you're peeling an onion, as opposed to a billboard. When you walk in, you get it, there's nothing else to learn. The other thing that's really fascinating about this house, he is an avid sailor. And so there is, through the center part of the house here, there is a soffit where we needed to run ductwork. And so as opposed to just doing a flat soffit, I actually inverted it and put a keel on the bottom. And it's all painted white, so it's really subtle. So it takes more than one visit to come to this house before you realize that's the bottom of a boat. And it ties in with the owner's sailing.